The Art of Living Well in Retirement, Three Clear Paths to Joy and Meaning. A conversation with old friends about what really matters after 65. Let me tell you something that's been on my heart lately. Not long ago, I was sitting across from an old friend of mine, David. He's a retired professor, now 81, and as sharp as ever. He leaned back in his chair, sipped his tea, and said with a kind of quiet wonder, it wasn't until I retired that I really learned how to live. For the first time in my life, I'm living for me, not for students, not for bosses, not even for my children. Just for me. That struck a chord. And if you're over 65 like me, maybe you know exactly what he meant. Retirement, my friend, isn't the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new kind of journey. One that doesn't require you to race anyone, prove anything, or please everyone. A journey where you finally get to live on your own terms. Now, I've been retired almost a decade. And after the first few years of tinkering, puttering, experimenting, and yes, making a few mistakes, I've come to believe there are three beautiful, clear, and deeply satisfying ways to live well in retirement. They're not flashy. They're not about cruises or card games or golf memberships, though hey, if you love those, go for it. These are more soulful, grounded, quietly powerful. Let me share them with you. 1. Stop competing with your former self. Move your body in a way that heals you. When I first retired, I fell into that trap of thinking I had to keep up with who I used to be. I track my steps every day with a fancy fitness watch. I joined a walking club. I even tried an online aerobics class that left me nursing a pulled hamstring for a month. The truth? We're not 40 anymore, and that's a blessing. As we age, our bodies become our most honest companions. They'll whisper what they need if we're willing to listen. And more often than not, they're asking for gentler care. Stretching, walking in nature, perhaps some Tai Chi in the backyard as the sun rises. Dr. James Norman, a well-respected geriatric physician in Minnesota, once said to me, "At this age, we don't exercise to get fit. We move to stay whole." I've never forgotten that. I now do gentle yoga 3 mornings a week and walk my little dog Lucy every afternoon through the park. On Sundays, I join a few neighbors in the community center for a Tai Chi class. There's no scoreboard, no guilt, just joy in motion, and motion that brings peace. Find what suits your body, not your neighbors, not your past selves. That's the secret to aging gracefully. 2. Do useless things that light you up inside. There's a strange pressure in our world to be useful, even in retirement. Some folks feel guilty for relaxing. They think, if I'm not earning or volunteering or helping out with the grandkids, am I wasting my time? To that, I say nonsense. Some of the most fulfilling things I've ever done are, technically, useless. Painting watercolors in my kitchen. Growing herbs I rarely remember to cook with. Writing short stories no one may read. But these things, they give my days color, texture, meaning. My friend Margaret, a 70-year-old retired librarian in Vermont, taught herself to play the ukulele. Now she plays lullabies for the kids at the local hospital. Not because anyone asked her to, but because it makes her feel alive. Then there's Robert, who's 68 and spent his career in IT. Now he records short video clips where he talks about life lessons, reads poetry, or gives advice to younger folks who stumble across his YouTube channel. I never expected anyone to care, he told me. Now I have over 30,000 followers. Turns out wisdom is in demand. So go ahead, tend your roses, learn Spanish, try woodworking, take photographs of birds, even if they all look like sparrows to you. The point is not to win awards or make money. The point is to fill yourself up with what brings you joy. 3. Curate your circle and spend time only on what and who matters. Now here's a hard one, especially if, like me, you grew up believing you had to be polite to everyone, show up at every party, and say yes to every invitation. But here's what I've learned. Not everyone is meant to come with you into the peaceful phase of your life. In my first few years of retirement, I was all over the place. Lunches, reunions, garden club meetings, neighborhood committees. I said yes to everything. I was busy, sure, but I was also worn out. And truth be told, I often came home feeling lonelier than before I left. Why? Because busyness isn't the same as connection, and not all connections nourish us. So little by little, I began letting go. I quietly stepped back from groups that felt draining. I stopped texting people who only ever talked about themselves. I decluttered my digital world too, unfollowed, muted, simplified. And in that space, I found my real people. These days, I have a small circle. We share tea and slow conversations. We don't compare vacations or grandkids. We talk about books, dreams, funny things we notice about the world. We laugh a lot. Sometimes we sit in silence and it feels like music. I even started hosting dinners at home once a month. I cook a simple meal, light some candles, and invite 2 or 3 people I love. It fills me more than any party ever could. So ask yourself gently, who fills your cup? What activities feel like warm sunlight on your soul? And then spend your precious time there. You've earned it. In closing, retirement is not an ending, it's a return. People talk about retirement as a destination, but I think it's more like coming home. Home to yourself. You don't have to impress anyone anymore. You don't have to follow the crowd. You don't have to explain your quiet or justify your joy. Your pension is your foundation, your health, your anchor. But your freedom, that's the real blessing. So live a little selfishly now. Take naps. Say no. Say yes. Bake cookies at 10 p.m. or go for a sunrise walk. Sing badly. Dance slowly. Speak kindly to yourself. The best retirement lifestyle isn't the loudest one. It's not the busiest one. It's the one where you feel most you, clear-eyed, content, and completely at home in your own beautiful life. And that, dear friend, is a life well lived. If these words felt like they were written just for you, then you're in the right place. Here on Senior Heartfelt Wisdom, we share gentle truths, soulful reflections, and thoughtful conversations meant for hearts like yours, seasoned, strong, and quietly radiant. Subscribe now and join our growing circle of wise elders who are embracing life on their own terms. Let's walk this meaningful path, not alone, but together. You deserve inspiration that speaks your language. Let this be your cozy corner on the internet,